Vineyard at the River. This is Brandon Kuhn, and this is going to be part 2 of how to use the Zoom app. In part 1, we used a desktop computer or a laptop, and in this one, we're going to be using a cell phone. You can also, in the same way, you can use a tablet. So if you have an iPad or a Samsung tablet or really any brand tablet or smartphone, this is how we will be using this device. So let's go ahead and start here. What you're seeing is my cell phone. This is my iPhone. You're seeing my home screen. You can see that I have 3 messages. You can see a picture of my beautiful fiance, Elisa, in the background. And you can see the App Store. So on your phone, you may have the App Store here in a different portion, right? Mine is on this first screen. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open the App Store. And the reason we're using Zoom, by the way, just in case you didn't watch the first video, is right now, just with the government regulations, we want to make sure we're honoring that. And we also want to make sure that we're taking care of our people who maybe are at risk. So if we're not at risk, and I know me being in my 20s, I'm not at risk in the same way that maybe people over 65 are. And so even though I may be okay in some ways, I need to make sure that I'm not around people who could get sick from this, and I want to make sure we're protecting them. And so what we're doing as a church is we're just making sure that we're taking these precautions, but also we still want to make sure that we have community. And so what we're doing in this time is we're finding creative ways to do that. It's an amazing thing that we have the technology that we have. And so we're using this Zoom app as a means of connecting as a church still. So this Saturday, we will be having Patty Helzer running our prophetic meeting. And it's an amazing thing to have this, because what we can now do is say you've never come to the prophetic meeting before. And maybe it's even a little intimidating for you. What is the prophetic? What are these things? Maybe getting up and driving down there, that's something that stops you because it's already a little bit intimidating. Well, now you get to just stay in your living room in your pajamas and you get to check it out. And the prophetic for me is so important, by the way. And I think that word prophetic can be scary. And this is a side note. This isn't the training. But it's really just learning to hear God. We're all able to hear his voice. We are his sheep, and sheep know their shepherd's voice. And so it's really just a time that we get to learn to hear God together and grow in that together. And so I would really encourage you to go to that, especially now that we have a way to do it. Another thing that we are going to be doing is this Wednesday, we will be having our church family meeting. Scott Paladichik, he's the president of our board. He'll be sharing just different financial things that's going on with our church. And to do that, he's going to be using Zoom. So we want to make sure you know how to do this. And then the last one, and one that I think is of the utmost importance, is home groups. We're going to be trying this out first and foremost tonight with the Talks home group. So if you're part of the Talks home group, you're going to want to learn how to do this. And the reason it's important is really, guys, we are wired for community. We are wired for connection. And there's something special about being able to see each other's faces, hear each other's voices, and connect in that capacity. Even if it's not physically in person, just that visual and audible connect, that connection there really just matters. And so we're finding ways to do that. So to do that, first, let's go ahead and open up. As I said, I'll go back to the home screen here in case you got lost in that long rant. But you will just click on the App Store. Or if you have an Android device, I believe it's the Google Store, Google Play Store. And from here, we're going to just type in this search bar, Zoom. And here's what pops up. So, it could be a little confusing. And I'm doing this for you the first time for me as well, just so you can kind of see what it would look like for someone who's doing it for the first time. Now, fortunately, the first one that popped up here is the one that we want to use. But if you scroll down, you'll notice that there's other Zoom apps. Zoom for BlackBerry, Zoom Photo and Video, GoToMeeting, Zoom Care. So those things can be confusing. And so what we're going to be using is the Zoom Cloud Meetings. And that's the first thing you see up here. So we're going to press Get. And for other people, maybe it is install, or it may have a different word there than Get. But that is what we're going to press, and we press install. And now we're getting to download this. Now I have a lot of apps on my phone, so you are going to, we're going to open it from here, but I do want to show you another way to get there. So we would normally just press open right here. But another thing that we are capable of doing is we can go to our phone here and see where it downloaded. And right here, it's there for me on the last screen. And what we want to do now is we're going to want to create an account. And to do that, you'll see in the bottom left of your screen here, right under join a meeting and to the left of sign in, we will press sign up. Now, I've already signed up, actually with two different accounts now, just for one for what I actually use and the other for the first video. So I'm going to use a different email here. I'm going to use revival.is.now@yahoo.com, and that's one of my emails. And then we're going to put my first name, Brandon, last name, Kuhn, and then we're going to agree to the terms of service. Now, if you're someone who likes to read the terms of service to know what you're signing up for, you can click on the blue lettering and it will take you, let me even just show you, it'll take you to the terms of service here. And you can look at it, you can read through it. For now, I've already looked at these things and I've gone through it, and I'm going to press accept. And this is even cookies, by the way, which for this case, I'm okay, and don't worry about it. For now, I'd press accept. We can get into what cookies are a little bit later. But once you've read these terms of service, go ahead and press that little back there to sign up. And then we're going to press that little, there was a little dot there you might have seen with nothing filled. You press that circle, and now there is a check mark. And now I'm going to press in the top right corner, sign up. And you'll notice there's two sign up things there. Only one can be pressed. So if I press the middle one, I'm pressing it right now, nothing can happen. We're going to press the one in blue letters. So sign up. Now it's loading, and they've sent a confirmation email to my email address that I put on there. So it is important that you use an email that you have access to. Now, you can use a junk email if you'd like, but you do need to make sure that you have access to that junk email. So I'm going to press OK. And what I'm going to do now, I didn't get a notification, and the reason for that is I've turned off notifications just for the video's sake. And they're trying to get me some weird ads here. They want me to, I'm not a single in Newport. So every time, by the way, just a little tip here for you, if you do get these notifications on your email that maybe you don't like, what you can do is you can just slide here, and I'm going to delete this ad, and I actually always report it because I am most definitely not a single in Newport. I am a happily engaged man, and I'm going to say it's offensive, and I'm going to say that in hopes that they understand I don't want anything like this again. So we're going to press done there. And you know what? I haven't gotten the email yet, so we're going to keep waiting. And what I'm going to do, oh, it looks like we got it right there. I just had to refresh it. So now we have, and now they want me, there's another ad. I will always have ads, right? But we're not going to worry about that. We will press Zoom this email. Now, when you go to your email, this is what it will look like. Right? It will have Zoom, sign in, and right here it gives you a little email. And what we want to press is we want to press activate account. And what this is doing is it's just saying, hey, this is really our email. We're not using another person's email because believe it or not, people do things like that so that they don't have to get the email. So we're going to press activate account. Once we do that, it wants me to do cookies again. You know what? In some cases I press accept, and some I don't. For this, go ahead and just press that accept button that I pressed there. And then what we're going to do is it's giving us permission now to create a password. All right, so this has been happening. What it's doing on my phone here, and if you have an iPhone, this will probably happen, is it's giving you one that they say, hey, this is a very strong password. No one will be able to steal this password. Now, I don't like having that feature. I like to create my own password because you can see in that yellow writing right there, that's a hard password. HUVVED-KOG. It's just hard. I'm not going to remember that. So I'm going to press in the bottom here, choose my own password. I'm going to give you a second to see that too. It's right under the blue square. It's going to be the blue rectangle, excuse me. Choose my own password. So I'm going to click on that. and I'm going to create my own password. And oh no, you can see it. So what I'm going to do here, this isn't a real account anyways. I'm going to put Vineyard $1, which is our old Wi-Fi password. So if you were connected to the Wi-Fi at one point, that was it. And I'm getting a bunch of text messages right now, so ignore those to the best of your ability. I'll keep strolling them up. And it looks like it's actually people from our church. But right now, after you put in those passwords, you will just put right here, this orange button, you'll press continue. Now what's happening, and this will happen on most phones, is it's saying, hey, do you want your cell phone to remember this password? Now, you may like to do that. So what you would press is you would just press Save Password. You also have the option, hey, I don't ever want to be asked this question again for this website. You can press Never for this website. Right now, I'm just going to press Not Now, just because this isn't my main account, as I said, and so I don't want to save this one, so Not Now. Now what is happening is it's giving you the opportunity, if you're part of a home group and maybe you're a little more tech savvy, and you've already gone through this process, and maybe someone else is having trouble, you can now invite them to make it easier. So you would just click here, and you could put their email, right? So I would maybe put my church email here, vineyardattheriver.org. Maybe I was having a hard time, and I even made a typo there, which that matters, by the way. At TGE River, that won't go anywhere. So you will want to double check and make sure that you put the right email in. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to skip this step, and most of you will be pressing skip this step. So right beneath the orange box, which says invite, right here it says skip this step. So we're going to press that. And then now what we're going to do is we're not going to start a meeting, right? In most cases, unless you're a home group leader, or if Patty, if you're watching this, maybe you would start a meeting now and press that orange box. But for us, we are just going to press join, and join is right next to host, and it's across from Zoom. So let's go ahead and press join. And what it wants to do now is it wants to open it, I believe, in my app, because I have that app downloaded. So we're going to press open, and it should go back to my app now. Yeah, it did that for us there. It went to the store. We're going to press open. And what you have now here is a request for a meeting ID. And whoever is hosting the meeting will have a unique meeting ID. And so Daniel Cox and Cecile, if you are part of their home group, the Cox home group, they will have sent you one. I believe Patty Helzer already sent out a meeting ID as well. And so what will happen, and on Wednesday we'll have one for you too. Sorry, I left that one out there, but we will have one for you. You'll get it in an email most likely. And we will put this in. So I already have one from Daniel here. Daniel should be on the other end of this once we get going. So we'll see if he's still there. He's been a champ in this process. And there is the link. We're on Brandon's iPhone. And we are going to press this blue button here that says join. Let's see what happens. You guys ready for this? Waiting, it's loading. Oh, and this is important here. So it's saying Zoom would like to access the camera. And we want it to say yes. So what we're doing is they have to legally ask these questions. They need to ask permission to actually access functions of your phone. But we want to press OK, otherwise we won't be able to see you. So we'll press OK. And then we're going to press join with video. So once we join with video here, what's going to happen is it's going to ask us for one more permission. So what it wants to say now is it says Zoom would like to access the microphone. And again, we want to press OK here because we want to make sure that we can actually hear you talking when it's time to talk. So from there, we press OK. And then after that, it says it's going to ask us, would you like to receive notifications from Zoom? So it says Zoom would like to send you notifications. Now, this option is up to you, right? So if you would like to receive a notification, maybe if you're part of the Cox home group and he's put out a notification that, hey, our home group is about to start, and he sends that notification out through the Zoom app, maybe that's important to you. But if you already know that the home group starts at a specific time and you feel confident that you're not going to miss that, then you can press don't allow. But whatever you want to do, you press either allow or don't allow. And then from there, you get to join the meeting. And that's it. It's that simple. You get to be part of the meeting from there on out.
Hope that helped you guys.